All right, guys, I'm just making sure things are okay on the stream. Just give me 1 second. We're going to start this crazy review of Survivor Series. Just give me 1 second. I just want to see how this looks on the stream. Make sure I hear myself. Otherwise, I'll be talking for nothing. All right, we are good. What's going on, guys? It's Crater here, back with a new edition of the World Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Crater, and today we are covering whatever this show was, that was Survivor Series. I mean, yesterday we had NXT TakeOver with War Games, one hell of a pay-per-view. You had amazing matches with NXT. They always deliver every single TakeOver. But then you get to the main roster, the main show, Survivor Series, and man, oh man, let me tell you, there is always a distinct difference with Survivor. With anytime there's a main roster pay-per-view colliding with NXT TakeOver, the feeling is always different. Whether it's SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, it is always a different scenario. That's all I can say when it comes to the main roster NXT. First thing first, before we even get to the main show, we had a few things go on the kickoff show because there were some vital things that happened on the kickoff show. First things first. The kickoff show matches don't matter at all. That's what they established. I'll get to that in a second. But the very first thing, the original Survivor Series Raw women's team saw Ruby Riott, Natalya, Nia Jax, Tamina, and Mickie James. However, because the altercation that Natalya and Ruby Riott had, that match was that they scrapped that completely. Natalya and Ruby Riott were off the team, and instead Sasha Banks and Bayley were put on. Now, makes you wonder, and the first thing you ask yourself, what was that whole angle on Raw for? It made no sense. I mean, it's obvious they're clearly building something with Natalya and Ruby Riott, but it was just a wasted point of just putting them on the team knowing that y'all was just going to take them off anyway. What was the point in any of that at all? It just made no sense, but hey, that's WWE for you. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. Who are we to judge? So there was that, and they replaced them with Sasha and Bayley. Also, for the Smackdown team, Naomi established herself as a team captain, even though when the match started, it really didn't matter at the end of the day. So they established themselves as the team captain. Then we were wondering who the fifth member was going to be. R-Truth showed up. R-Truth was pretty much here throughout the whole night of the show. R-Truth is always funny, so he always has that with him. So R-Truth showed up. He said he's going to be a fifth member. Carmelo was happy, but obviously a man can't join a Women's Survivor Series team. And instead, what happened was Mandy Rose, which I had two picks. My original predictions was either Nikki Cross or Mandy Rose, and I said for storyline wise it would make sense if it's Mandy Rose. I wanted to see Nikki Cross. We got Mandy Rose instead. So that was the full lineup for the women's team. Then we get on to the actual kickoff show match, which saw the 10-on-10 Tag Team Survivor Series match. Even though this match never mattered because they completely insisted that the kickoff matches don't matter, which again, I said this on my prediction show 2 days ago. Why couldn't this match? There's a reason why this match wasn't on the main show, because it went with whatever story Davey was trying to tell, and for that to happen, they couldn't let this match be on a kickoff show. They couldn't be on the main show because they didn't want freaking this to count for what they were doing. So y'all, 10-on-10 Tag Team Survivor Series match for Raw vs. SmackDown. On Raw, you had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, The Revival, The Ascension, the Lucha House Party. I feel like I'm missing a team. Oh, and the B team. Okay. And then you had SmackDown, The New Day, The Usos, Gallows Anderson, Sanity, and the Colognes. If I remember correctly, the first team eliminated was the Colognes. Basically, I'm not going to lie, this is the only match I didn't see fully because this time, usually during the kickoff shows, I always get my food either for my family or myself, and then we're getting soul food tonight. But I was able to see it thanks to the it was airing on YouTube and Facebook. And yeah, it was actually a pretty, in terms of match quality, it was a little sloppy at first, but overall, it was a good match. And I was saying, again, why wasn't this match on the actual main card? I mean, at the end of the night, now I know why, because it couldn't have been, because the story that they were trying to tell here, whatever story that was, I guess it was just a burial of SmackDown Live besides the tag team division, but that's the story that they wanted to tell, and for that to happen, this match could not have been on the main show, because it was actually it's better than most tag team elimination matches that you'll probably see. It's like where there's a lot of tag teams. It was actually a very entertaining match, and surprise stuff too, like for example, Byron and Chad Gable, who are the team captains, got eliminated before the final. They weren't even the final team. The final team was actually shockingly the Revival and the Usos. That was the first time ever match we never seen before. It was actually the Revival actually gave it their all. I guess they're trying to, now that AOP are a proper tag team that are currently holding the Raw tag team titles, I guess this was their way to build up the Raw tag team division by having the Revival, an established Raw tag team that they never do anything with besides make them look like fools. They decided to do that, and they gave them a pretty good match against the Usos. First time we saw that between them. At the end of the day, the Usos, they would get the victory. That was the first and only point for SmackDown, even though it didn't count apparently. And we'll get to that now let's talk about what was Survivor Series. The only time of the year when Raw and SmackDown go head to head in direct competition. Where do I begin? First things first, we had the women's match. We had the Raw women versus the SmackDown Women's Traditional Survivor Series match. You had a team captain, Alexa Bliss, having her team consist of Nia Jax, who got the most heat out of every single woman on this roster, because obviously she's the reason why we did not get Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey here tonight. So we had Nia Jax, Tamina, Mickie James, was originally supposed to be Ruby Riott and Talia. We actually got instead Sasha Banks and Bayley. Sorry about that. On the SmackDown side, you had a team captain now that was Naomi with Asuka, Carmella, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. I'm gonna try to get the burp out. There you go. I apologize, guys. But yeah, so there's that. So that happened, this women's match. What was the elimination process? Wasn't Naomi the first one eliminated? I swear to God she was. So much for a team captain. I swear. Naomi was the first one eliminated, if I remember correctly. I swear to God she was. I want to make sure I get my eliminations right for this main card. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up. Because I swear to God Naomi was. It couldn't have been Tamina. Because Naomi got super kicked by Tamina. So hold up. The order elimination was as follows. I'm not tripping. I know what happened. Not crazy. Swear I'm not. Come on. All right, your elimination was as follows. It was Naomi. I knew I wasn't tripping because she got super kicked. And then Tamina got eliminated by Carmella via Schoolgirl, of all things. And then she did a whole dance break. Then Mickie James got eliminated because of Mandy Rose, because after Sonya Deville knocked her out, she decided to Mandy Rose again. I don't know what role Mandy Rose was doing. I couldn't tell you what exactly Mandy Rose was doing here. Is she acting like a heel? Are Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville? Is Mandy Rose a heel, or she's obviously a heel. Actually did a very interesting tweet by Shane Man. Let me retweet that so I can go over it after we go over this review real quick. Hold up. There's a bunch I got to retweet, so I got to watch Drake Maverick's interview. We will get to that. Anything else? Come on. I don't want to miss anything. All right. And all right, so I'm not missing anything here. All right, so we had, where the hell is the list? Yeah, so Mickie James got eliminated because that was Sonya Deville's sliding knee, but So Mandy Rose kicked her out so she could get the victory. Then Carmella got eliminated by Bayley after she did the belly to belly. Then Mandy Rose got eliminated after the bank statement to from Sasha Banks. Then you had both Bayley and Sonya Deville got eliminated via double count out. Then you just had the remaining person as Asuka was the sole survivor against Sasha Banks and Asuka. Asuka looked like she had Asuka. Sasha looked like she had Asuka, I should say. And then next thing you know, Nia Jax pushes Sasha so she'll get trapped in the Asuka lock. And then next thing you know, that was it. That was actually it. Because after that, Nia Jax just simply decimated Asuka with like 3 leg drops and then a Samoan drop, and then Nia Jax was the sole survivor. She basically pulled a Triple H from last year where she didn't want to for God's sake, where she wanted to be the sole survivor for the team. I mean, it builds Nia Jax because she is the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. But at the end of the day, God, they are just burying. They just do not care about Sasha Banks, do they? At all. It's like this. They always use Sasha Banks is always an ends to a means for somebody else's feud. And it's like, it's kind of sad. I do feel sorry for Sasha Banks. Maybe she's better off on SmackDown. But then I wouldn't want to go. Hold up. There we go. With this incredible sneaky skill yeah. So these memes with Survivor Series I'm looking at is freaking amazing. But yeah, Sasha Banks, I feel so bad, so bad for Sasha Banks because at the end of the day, she has just been buried by multiple women, and she just can't catch a break. She's always putting on a good match. They just don't care about her enough. What happened? Because she but the thing is, it was never her fault. Now you think about it. They always gave her the title just for her to lose it on the pay-per-view. It makes no freaking sense. She never successfully defended the title before, besides the time she was at NXT. So what the actual hell? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Sasha Banks. But as for Nia Jax, it was obviously just to build her up with Ronda Rousey because she is the next #1 contender. I'm assuming that's going to happen at the TLC pay-per-view, which they are now promoting since Survivor Series is pretty much already going on. And that's why they had to promote the pay-per-view. So best believe they're going to announce a Raw Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey. So there's that. What was the next match? I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong, Seth Rollins versus... Yep, it was. It was Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the first time ever. Seth Rollins representing Raw as the Intercontinental Champion, and Shinsuke Nakamura representing SmackDown with the United States Championship. Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura had a palette change because that was something. Because his blue, I don't believe, I don't know about that blue. As my brother was saying, he's a huge fan of Nakamura, and he was like, yeah. Xavier Woods, he's tweeting right now. Finish watching Survivor Series. My brain, don't do it, me. Hey, WWE, I respect the tag team division both shows, and let the people know that SmackDown got a win tonight. The score was 6-1. Exactly. It was like they buried the tag team division. They buried SmackDown at the same time. Like that was just ridiculous. I tell you, I have no words of what they were doing with the SmackDown or Raw tag team divisions. They just keep burying them and burying them, burying them. However, we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins, and it was a very interesting match. I mean, what can I say? It was what you expect. It was probably going to be the match of the night. Would I consider this the match of the night? I think in terms of match quality, Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth Rollins was actually the match of the night, now that I think about it, because what other match in terms of match quality was actually decent? Like, besides that kickoff show match, but like in terms of actual like work rate and match quality, that was the match. It was like, it was believable that any... Here's the thing though about this match. After the ending, it was a clear direction on what was going to happen. I said in my predictions yesterday that Shinsuke Nakamura was going to win because of Dean Ambrose. So that did not happen at all. So it was like reversal after reversal after reversals, and Seth Rollins eventually hit the stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins. The second Nakamura lost, it was my 100% understanding after that it was going to be a clean sweep of Smackdown, because that was the story that they were going to tell. Why? Because at that very moment when Shinsuke Nakamura lost, that I realized that this is clearly the thing for Shane McMahon to turn heel for, because SmackDown is going to get completely obliterated by Monday Night Raw. Shinsuke Nakamura is the only hope I was thinking, because bad enough that the SmackDown women lost that Survivor Series tag team match, because that was one of the predictions I had, but because there was no way they was going to win the Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar matches. So yeah, with that being said, the second Nakamura lost, I knew it was over for SmackDown Live. It was a clean sweep. It was just burial of SmackDown Live had begun right after that. And that's exactly what happened, because the very next match was the Authors of Pain with Drake Maverick taking on the Bar with Big Show. Authors of Pain representing Monday Night Raw with the Raw Tag Team titles, and the Bar representing SmackDown with the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I don't even know what to say about this match. I mean, in terms, where do we begin? Let's begin with the elephant in the room, Enzo Amore, for God's sakes. Enzo freaking Amore decided, of all days, to show up here on Survivor Series. Was interesting because way earlier, before Survivor Series even came on, I guess he released an album or something, dissing his ex-girlfriend Liz Morgan, who still works with WWE. She's on Monday Night Raw. She's part of Riot Squad. Yeah, and then there's apparently something. It was just apparently something going on where people spot Enzo Amore in the crowd, and then next thing you know, during this match, it was blatantly obvious this crazy guy standing on his chair was Enzo Amore. He officially hijacked the crowd. I couldn't believe my eyes. Is this like first time in history that a former WWE superstar who got fired personally took it upon himself to hijack the crowd? I don't think I ever heard of this before. I mean, there's always like when somebody goes to different promotion, they always like diss the company after they leave. But this person, he literally showed up on a pay-per-view. Now, this is not Raw, this is not SmackDown. This is a pay-per-view that a lot of people usually watch. Not a lot of people watch the weekly wrestling shows, but when it comes to pay-per-view, a lot more eyes are on it. And yeah, I don't know what to say, because he just hijacked the pay-per-view, and then security took him down. And apparently, based on what Brian Alvarez's tweets were saying, he was in the back, and he's now banned from the event. Does that mean he's banned from WWE entirely, or whatnot? I wonder what I really want to know what the conversation was between Vince McMahon and Enzo Amore backstage. We need some audio leaks of that or something. That was amazing. But yeah, the reason I'm not really talking about the tag team match now, because it was because of that track that kind of threw everything off. But then it didn't help matters, because near the end of the match, Drake Maverick was just helped AOP his foot under the rope. I forgot. I think I want to say that's Akam. That has to be Akam. Yeah, so I think he put Akam's leg on the bottom of the rope to be able to get the pinfall break, and then he was trying to run away. Big Show grabbed him, held him up, looked like he was trying to choke him out. Clearly, it was obvious what they were doing, because Drake Maverick, he was holding his pants. I kept wondering why he was trying to hold his pants, because he obviously had something in his pants that would make it look like he pissed himself. And mind you guys, this is the general manager of 205 Live, like the heroic general manager of I don't know. What is the act? I know that, you see, maybe this is one of the truer things out there, that literally anything that Triple H does and touches has no bearing on what Vince McMahon does. Because, again, in case you guys don't know, 205 Live, Triple H runs. Vince McMahon has no control over 205 Live anymore. Which is kind of astonishing when you think about it, because you see 205 Live superstars on Monday Night Raw. You got the Lucha House Party now. You got Leo Rush. You got Drake Maverick. And, again, it's like a Jackal High thing with Drake. They used to do with Leo Rush, but now he's just officially heel with both shows. It's a Jackal High thing. Drake Maverick is a babyface on 205 Live as a general manager, but he's a heel with AOP on Monday Night Raw. And they're like, every time he goes on 205 Live, as if what he just did on Monday Night Raw has no bearing on what he does on 205. It is so weird. So he was acting like a heel here, and then he pissed himself, but it obviously gave enough time for AOP to get the pinfall. I believe it was on Sheamus, if I was correct. And then they were able to get the pin, and AOP got another win from Monday Night Raw. I love how Corey Graves kept saying, but SmackDown had the win on the kickoff show. And Matt Cole said, yeah, that doesn't count. Way to bury the tag team division on both the Raw and SmackDown team, Michael Cole. That was just amazing. So right now, again, I already knew from Shinsuke Nakamura once his loss was over that there was clearly a clean sweep that was going to happen, because there was no way SmackDown could come back from this anyway. So that's exactly what was going to happen with the clean sweep of Monday Night. For Monday Night Raw. I just don't know why. I'll give you my theory in a second. Then you had a mid-break because we got the Cruiserweight Championship match, the only match that was unrelated to this brand supremacy thing. We had Buddy Murphy defend his title against Mustafa Ali. No, he did say Seth Rollins and Nakamura was probably the match of the night in terms of match quality. This match was perfectly fine. I loved it. The Cruiserweights always put on the best matches of the week every single week. It's only when TakeOver NXT just says, hold my beer. That's when the NXT superstars do what they need to do, is when it comes to a TakeOver. They be like, yo, hold my beer for a second. But for this night, I still have to give the Nakamura and Rollins. I feel like that was a better wrestling match. I did enjoy this match because there was a bunch of crazy spots. Like, again, those cruiserweights be freaking kill. That's why I love 205 Live. Those cruiserweights be killing each other. Mustafa Ali, Buddy Murphy, they beat the hell out of each other. Those knees to the face, like that Mustafa Ali was taking, was vicious. And then in the end, he was able to knee him while he went on the turnbuckle. I guess he was trying to do a cross body from the second rope. That didn't happen. He kneed the hell out of his face. He hit Murphy's Law. 1, 2, 3. It was over because Buddy Murphy is now still the Cruiserweight Champion. I was wrong for all these predictions except for the AOP Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar match. I was wrong for all these goddamn predictions. Cause I really thought it's not that I dislike Buddy Murphy. I just assumed he was a transitional champion because they didn't want a face to pin a face. So I thought this was their way to get the title on Mustafa Ali, but that wasn't the case at all because Buddy Murphy is still the Cruiserweight Champion. And then we got to the traditionals 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. You had Team Raw, which was team captained by Baron Corbin alongside Leo Rush as a manager for the following teammates. He had his manager, his associate is Bobby Lashley, and he was with Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler. Against Team Smackdown, was led by the team captain The Miz, alongside Commissioner Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy. Now, tragic. It was already the burial of SmackDown Live that they were doing ever since Nakamura lost. It was clearly obvious. This is just the burial of SmackDown Live. But when I mean buried, they buried Samoa Joe. And it was like, he wasn't even there for a minute. I'm looking at the time. He was only in there for 35 seconds because he kept trying to get Drew McIntyre into the coquina clutch. Next thing you know, Claymore kick. It was done. It was done. So I find it interesting what they did though. But so Drew McIntyre got the first elimination. Then you had Finn Balor got eliminated by Rey Mysterio after he did the 619. Then Dolph Ziggler got eliminated by Shane McMahon when he did the coast to coast. It looked like he was about to eliminate Bobby Lashley, but then when he tried to do coast to coast again, Braun Strowman clotheslined the hell out of him. Then Braun Strowman just went on his rampage. He did Jeff Hardy first, got eliminated by Braun Strowman. Rey Mysterio got eliminated by Braun Strowman. The Miz got eliminated by Braun Strowman. And then Shane McMahon got eliminated by Braun Strowman. What's the consistent thing happening here? The only two men that eliminated people, coincidence? I think not, was Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. Again, it was already over. SmackDown already lost the tally. Because for some strange reason they didn't count the kickoff match. I mean, obviously there was a reason to it for storyline reasons. They don't want to count it because it was again a clean sweep. This was 4-0 right now for Raw. They were killing SmackDown Live. And then you had I don't even know what to call this match. You had Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Ronda Rousey representing Monday Night Raw and Charlotte Flair representing SmackDown. This match was again originally supposed to be Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey in the Champions versus Champion match, where Becky Lynch has been representing SmackDown as the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Ronda Rousey has been representing Raw as the Raw Women's Champion. But that match never came because, again, stupid Nia Jax. It was a good match. I mean, it was right behind Buddy Murphy, Mustafa Ali in terms of match quality, in my personal opinion. It was a very good wrestling match between these two. Again, I was more looking forward to Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey because, again, Becky Lynch is my favorite superstar. So, it was because of that. I was kind of not caring at first, but they really put the work in. Like Charlotte, you had to give it to Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. They really showed their stuff here. And this is where things get weird. So it's bad enough that Ronda Rousey was already bloodied when Charlotte accidentally elbowed her in the jaw, which made her bleed. But then when Ronda Rousey was running towards Charlotte outside the ring, Charlotte hit her with the kendo stick. This is turning her heel. This has to be a heel turn because Ronda Rousey's technically a face. But the issue when heels and face turns happen, right? The issue with that is that you have to have the right crowd. Clearly, this crowd was checked out when Survivor Series even went on the air. They made up their minds who they were going to cheer, who they were going to boo. Sometimes you can organically make it happen, but for this crowd, they made up their mind of who they're going to cheer, who they're going to boo. This was not in Vince McMahon's plan. This was a Charlotte heel turn. She beat the hell out of Ronda Rousey with the kendo sticks. She beat the hell out of referees. Those referees were the MVP. They sold the hell for Charlotte Flair. They were selling. And eventually she put Ronda Rousey, she put her neck in the chair and she stomped on it. And then just injured Ronda Rousey again. This is still a win for Team Raw because this was via disqualification, so Raw got the win anyway. But this solidifies Charlotte's heel turn. Now, there was supposed to be this huge babyface reaction for Ronda Rousey as she's trying to get up or whatever. But that didn't happen. They booed the hell out of Ronda Rousey. And clearly that was not meant to happen. I don't know what they're going to do. I couldn't tell you what they're going to do with Ronda Rousey. All I know is that she is next in line. The next title defense she's supposed to have with Nia Jax. They're not going to turn Ronda Rousey heel because they already turned Charlotte heel. Now, the real question we have to ask ourselves, is Becky Lynch a heel? That's a very good question because I have no idea if she is or not. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea if she is. I hope she is because I think this was WWE's learning lesson where they was like, okay, here's the deal, right? We have this woman named Becky Lynch who's getting cheered all the time. We have this woman named Charlotte who's getting booed all the time. With the exception of tonight, she's always gotten booed every time I put her at Becky Lynch. How about we just switch things up? Obviously, it was our mistake that we turned Becky Lynch heel. You know, hindsight, turning her heel is the greatest thing they could have ever done. Because now the WWE Universe even backed her even more as a babyface. So I'm assuming they just wrote the wrong that they did. And they made Charlotte a heel. And I don't know what they're doing with Ronda Rousey. I'm best believe Becky Lynch is a face. I'm assuming by Mania, Becky Lynch is going to probably be a face against probably a heel Ronda Rousey. She's not going to turn heel yet, but it's probably going to be like a heel Ronda Rousey. So there you go. So that's what I'm actually thinking it's gonna be at WrestleMania. It just seems like more and more that this Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey match might be one of the main matches for WrestleMania. It might even main event WrestleMania now since Roman Reigns is not here. Anything's possible. So there's that. And then we had the most intriguing matches I have ever seen in WWE in a while. We had Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar for the first time ever. There was a lot of first time ever matches here on Survivor Series. But for the first time ever, Brock Lesnar, who's the Universal Champion representing Monday Night Raw, was taking on Daniel Bryan, who's the WWE Champion representing SmackDown Live. And Daniel Bryan's character is completely changed. He's like an animal now. He doing this monkey crap. He keeps mocking Brock Lesnar. It was a sight to see. But the second Brock Lesnar called him, it was over. He massacred Daniel Bryan. It was a live massacre. That's exactly what it was. Up until they decided to switch things up and make Daniel Bryan finally come back. Again, here's the thing. They turned Daniel Bryan heel on SmackDown, but they knew that regardless of that, if Daniel Bryan was going to go against Brock Lesnar, guess who the babyface was going to be? Daniel Bryan. So why didn't they just wait? Why didn't they just wait for the heel turn to happen after Survivor Series? They could have did it after Survivor Series, because I get the reason why, because otherwise Daniel Bryan would have been facing Brock Lesnar. They need to get the title off of AJ because they wanted that to happen. But regardless, it's like there's always other ways to do stuff. I just personally feel like WWE just did it the wrong way in my personal opinion. But regardless, Dan Bryan eventually came back and he was giving it to Brock Lesnar. There was at one point in the match where he put in the yes lock and every single person in that crowd stood up. They stood up. And the next thing you know, there's an actual chance that Daniel Bryan is going to make Brock Lesnar do the unthinkable. He was going to make Brock Lesnar tap out. And then Brock was trying to break away, but Daniel Bryan kept punching him in the face, and he put in the yes lock again. It's like, wow, this is actually happening. But then Brock Lesnar, I don't know how he did it. He picked him up. And he just put him in the F5, 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar with that win for Brock Lesnar. It was officially, I think for the first time ever in Survivor Series or any kind of bragging rights pay-per-view that involved Raw and SmackDown, Raw did a complete clean sweep of SmackDown Live. Now, the first thing you probably ask yourself, does this just basically mean the burial of SmackDown Live? Yes, exactly what it means. However, as I was doing this review, Shane McMahon, our commissioner of SmackDown Live, lovely person, decided to put out an interesting tweet which pretty much confirms my suspicion of what exactly... Hold on. Wait, what the hell was this? Becky Lynch was there? No, this must have been... Joe did it for a wife and a girl. Hold up. Let me just get up Shane McMahon real quick. His tweet. So help me prove my point. I said this clean sweep clearly was going to have meaning. And we're going to find out on Tuesday. He said, quote, "This wasn't the night I had in mind for Team Blue. Tomorrow is a new day. But something's going to have to change come Tuesday." This was the heel turn for Shane McMahon. So, yeah. I guarantee, best believe, by the end of Tuesday night, before SmackDown Live goes off the air, Shane McMahon is turning heel. That's all I can say. That's probably exactly what's going to happen. And that was Survivor Series, guys. Overall, obviously, you can't... Unfortunately, it was in terms of match, again, the matches, you had Seth Rollins, Nakamura, they did an amazing match. You had Buddy Murphy, Seth Fowler did an amazing match. You had Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey did an amazing match. You had Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan as an amazing match. But the difference between TakeOver and SmackDown Live is that TakeOver and all of their matches consistently had matches that kept topping each other. It's like they purposely put it from, okay, here's a good match, but I didn't know you're going to have the greatest match you've ever seen here tonight. And that's exactly what TakeOver did. Survivor Series was all over the place. Again, I understand, at the end of the night, I understand why they didn't put the tag team match on the main show, but I felt like in terms of match quality, it would actually help the show a little bit in there, whatever rating that the fans decide to give them. But for the storyline reasons, I get why they didn't want to put it on the main show, because it blew up everything that they were trying to do in storyline wise. But Yeah, Shane McMahon's turning heel. That's all I can say. There's literally nothing else about it. Shane McMahon is, yeah, he's definitely. Charlotte's heel too. She just tweeted out, "Boo the woo, screw you." There you go. That's her heel turn. I told you so. Becky Lynch must be a babyface. So there's that. That's all I can say. There it is, guys. That was Survivor Series. Overall, in terms of this week of wrestling, it was a very interesting week indeed. That's all I can say. It really was a very, very interesting week indeed. Overall, both shows delivered the way they needed to. NXT TakeOver was obviously the better show in terms of match quality. Survivor Series it was a very entertaining. So in terms of wrestling, NXT TakeOver from top to bottom, the best wrestling show this whole week. In terms of Survivor Series, it kept me entertained. That's all I can say. You had some very awesome matches with Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan. Then you had Buddy Murphy, Southfield. They had very awesome matches, but in terms of entertainment, I think Survivor Series take the cake because, I mean, it makes the one thing that WWE can always do, and you can never not credit them for this. They always want to make you watch what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw. Even if the pay-per-view suck balls, they always makes you wonder, well, what the hell is going to go on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown? I think that's what they're doing now with pay-per-views. It doesn't matter what happens on the pay-per-view. They just want to make you wonder, tune in to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. That seems like their goal now. They care more about their weekly shows than the actual pay-per-views, and it seems like that's the case, because I am actually for the first time I'm more intrigued what's gonna be happening on SmackDown than on Raw. Raw's whatever, and nobody cares really what's happening on Raw. It's SmackDown, because what is SmackDown going to say? What can they do? They got obliterated by Monday Night Raw. All I can tell you, one thing is officially gonna happen is that Shane McMahon's turning heel. Mark my words. I'm going to have obviously I'm going to be doing my podcast after SmackDown goes off the air. But mark my words, Shane McMahon heel turn confirmed this Tuesday on SmackDown Live. And I'm about to say my old podcast name. This is the World Wrestling Podcast, guys. For you viewers of Universe Mode who are watching this, I apologize that the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view could not happen today. I'm really at hard work at editing. I pray, because the way my work schedule is in real life outside of YouTube, obviously, I'm probably gonna be only working Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to work on this show. So I'm gonna be working because it's Thanksgiving. Obviously, I still have time. I'm gonna be home anyway. So, best believe the Great Ball of Fire pay-per-view will be out by Sunday. But if you are a Patreon, if you decide to go on my Patreon page, which is in the link in the description below this video, and if you want to donate to me also, that's also nice if you want to. Before it goes on a Sunday, I will send out a notification telling you guys, hey, if you just place my Patreon for $5 a month, you can watch it before Sunday. So that's the goal for Great Balls of Fire. It should definitely be out by Sunday. I gotta edit a few things in. It's going to probably be the best pay-per-view I put together in terms of my Universe Mode. I really hope you guys watch and tune in for that. And also, guys, still coming on December 1st, it is the world premiere of my original live-action series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Evolutions. So I hope you guys enjoy that. That's December 1st. I have an official start time for that, but it will be live because YouTube premieres. And I hope you guys tune into that too. Obviously, you're going to be seeing more World Wrestling podcasts pretty much every day of the week. As there's wrestling, you always see that. Because I had to edit the show and had to edit more Universe Mode episodes, there will probably be less gameplay live streams this week. But rest assured, Great Balls of Fire, I will do everything I can to make sure the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view is done before Sunday. That's my goal. But until then, guys, this is the World Wrestling Podcast, and as always, this is Crater signing off. Catch you guys later. See ya.